Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Lan, and today I want to show you the tips and tricks that I wish I knew when starting out as a hydroponic grower. Let's get right into it. The first thing I want to talk about is temperature and humidity. My house is 70 degrees year-round. It's kind of a sweet spot for most plants. If the temperature is too low, and I'm talking about low 60s, like 61, 62, most type of seeds have trouble sprouting, or it takes very long time to sprout. In that case, you need to use a heat mat for your pot during germination, or move it to a warmer room. If the temperature is too high, like in the high 70 or even 80 or above, the roots of your plants will rot. So I recommend that you keep your plants in a room that's between 65 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. This is a screenshot of my Gardyn app. You can see that the humidity level of my basement is 70.2%, which is pretty high compared to the rest of the house. The reason because I recently added a fish pond right next to my hydroponic system. Please excuse the mess with the floating plants. I promise I will fix it. Before having these guys, my humidity level was 60%, which was perfect. But now with the additional humidity inside the house, I have to run a fan in the basement to reduce the humidity level. If your house is too humid, there's a risk of mold growing and damage the house structure. However, if you only have one or two systems, don't worry about it. It most likely will not affect you. A common issue is low humidity instead. A lot of you live in a very dry area, so in order to up the humidity level, I recommend you to get a humidifier and just run it next to your plants. You can get a compact humidifier online from Amazon for less than $30. It's good for your plants and your health. Alright, tip number 2, cover all empty pots. You need to cover unused pots to prevent algae from growing. Algae doesn't do much harm to mature plants, but it can definitely kill younger plants. What algae does is competing nutrients with the plants, and also it doesn't look good. You can also use aluminum foil to cover parts of the pot like this. Number 3, say no to soil. Do not keep soil matter near your hydroponic system. As a plant lover, I understand that it's nearly impossible to resist that cute little potted plants you find at Home Depot or Lowe's. However, I urge you think twice before you do it. Soil most likely contains pest egg, or even the plant itself has pests on them. Bringing outdoor plants or soil matter indoor will put you at a great risk, having to deal with fungus gnat, aphids, spider mite, whiteflies. The list goes on and on. There are ways sorta to control them, but it's a very hard and uphill battle, and at some point you will have to toss everything to start fresh. Next tip I have for you is to trim your plants to avoid bolting or encourage new growth. If you grow herbs like basil, dill, cilantro, harvest them often to avoid them flowering. Once they produce flowers, the plants use its energy to nurture the seeds, and it signals that the plants should go into dormant. It stops shooting out new leaves, or the leaves are small and doesn't taste as good. Like this Thai basil, just remove the flowering stem. For lettuce, they bolt or flower on day 60. It depends on the variety, but that's usually when they flower. Once that happens, the leaves will become bitter, and the only thing you can do is tossing it out and replace with a new plant. Okay, number 6. If you want your lettuce to be crunchy like the ones in the grocery store, run a fan. I bought this one for less than $20. We'll have it linked below. What it does is mimicking the wind outside, which helps to toughen up the plants. Running a fan also helps with curing issues like outer tip burn and pollinating flowers like tomatoes and peppers, eggplants. All in all, it's very beneficial to get a fan like this. Unless the water from your city is extremely hard, it's okay to use tap water. All I need to do is just put tap water in a container and let it sit for at least 24 hours. That way, any chloride will evaporate before I use for my plants. I also have a dolly to move the water container around. Also get a sump pump. That way you don't need to lift up the water can and refill every single reservoir. I have 10 reservoirs to fill. Without a sump pump, I would have to go to a chiropractor every single week. Last but not least, do not add nutrient before the seeds sprout. Wait until they develop the first true leaves, then you can add the nutrient in the water. If you are starting out a new system with all the new pots, it's totally fine to pop the pots directly into whatever system that you're using and fill up the reservoir. You can add nutrient after, I would say, 10 to 14 days when everything sprouts. If you already have mature plants like this in the system with high nutrient level, I recommend use a tray of water to sprout your seedlings outside and then pop them back in once the true leaves develop. Okay guys, that's it for today's video. I hope this is helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions or comment. Don't forget to subscribe for future video. As always, thanks for watching and I will see you next time. Bye!